Hi, how you doing? This is Ryan, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. So, like most of you, I've also been playing Ark Raiders recently. Great game, really well made. I'm happy to see so many people playing it, enjoying it, loving it, sharing their thoughts and feelings about it, forming a community around it. The clips and memes being generated from this game are magnificent. We have on our hands yet another 2025 banger. This year just keeps on giving. So many great games, one amazing title after another. However, this is still modern gaming, and with modern gaming comes modern gaming discourse, and as you all know, I fucking hate modern gaming discourse. Right now, in the Ark Raiders community, there's a debate going on about adding additional gameplay modes to the game, namely a PvE-focused mode and a PvP-focused mode. Now, as most of you surely know, Ark Raiders is a PvPvE game. The threat of both AI enemies alongside players is one of the main draws and appeals of the game, and it makes matches feel so dynamic, visceral, intense. Because you never know if other players are going to be hostile or friendly towards you. Couple that with the chaos that the PvE adversaries of this game, the robots, the arcs, throw into the mix, and you got yourself a very compelling gameplay loop. So I totally understand where fans of Ark Raiders are coming from when they say the game should remain PvPvE. That making new separate game modes dedicated to a PvE experience and a PvP experience would hurt the game overall and dilute the overall player base and community. It's a totally fair argument, I get where they're coming from, but this is where I have to protest. Because I believe everyone having these conversations, hell, the whole Ark Raiders community in general, is missing the forest for the trees. I know the game just came out, but with how important and with how much progress was made by the Stop Killing Games movement, I would argue that it's fair to ask of Ark Raiders game developer Embark Studios, what is their end-of-life plan for the game? How do they plan on preserving the game and making it playable for the millions of people who bought it? Because right now, obviously, Ark Raiders is an always online multiplayer experience. There is no offline mode, there is no single player mode, there are no peer-to-peer server options. This is a game that is solely run on dedicated servers. So what happens when those dedicated servers go down? This isn't like Embark Studios' other game, The Finals, which is free to play. You didn't buy the game, you don't own it. Fair enough. But Ark Raiders is a purchase-to-play game. It's a purchase-to-play game with no offline options, no single-player mode, no PvE dedicated mode, no custom match, custom lobby options, no lobby browser or server browser. So, again, I ask, when the dedicated servers can no longer be afforded, when they can no longer be supported, when the dedicated servers go down, what happens to Ark Raiders? What is Embark Studios' end-of-life plan? How do they plan on preserving the game for the people who bought this? I like Ark Raiders. I'd like to continue playing Ark Raiders years from now. I'd like other people, hell, everyone, years from now, gamers new and old, to be able to buy and play Ark Raiders. But as long as it remains an always online game, built solely on the foundation of dedicated servers, it has an expiration date. It has an inherent expiration date. There is a very real possibility in the future, not right now, but 5 years from now, a decade from now. Who knows what could happen in this crazy world, in this unpredictable economy? Embark Studios could belly up. All of a sudden, there's no money to afford hosting these dedicated servers, and then, well, bye-bye Ark Raiders. And that would fucking suck. Ark Raiders is a great fucking game. It's already become a part of video game history and culture and dialogue and discourse. We need to start having more serious conversations and taking developers and publishers to task about end-of-life plans, about preserving their games. I understand the hesitation from the Ark Raiders community about adding more separate game modes, a dedicated PvE one, a dedicated PvP one, but I implore you, please look at this from another perspective, from the perspective of preservation. Since the creation and popularity of multiplayer video games, we've lost so many great titles over the years due to a lack of preservation efforts from video game developers and publishers. No offline single-player modes, no bot support, no custom match options, no mod support, no option for playing the games on peer-to-peer servers instead of dedicated ones. Look at it this way. absolute multiplayer classics like Unreal Tournament and Quake can still be played to this day. They have offline single-player options, bot support, peer-to-peer connections, full mod support. Despite both these game franchises being decades old, everyone can still play and experience the original Unreal Tournament and Quake games. Same goes for the original, very first two Star Wars Battlefront games. Let me bring up one of my personal favorites, Evolve. Despite that game's dedicated servers being shut down because it has an offline single-player mode with bot support, I can still play Evolve over a decade later and years after its dedicated servers shut down. People shit on Evolve, but Evolve was way ahead of the curve. For as long as I live, I'll be able to play Evolve whenever I want, for as long as I want. Right now, with Ark Raiders, I can't say that. Until Embark Studios provides some avenue to the players, this game has an expiration date. Without an offline single-player mode, without custom matches, PvE modes, and PvP modes that use a peer-to-peer connection instead of a dedicated one. Again, I understand the hesitation. I understand wanting to keep Ark Raiders pure and keep to the original vision of Ark Raiders. I get it. I understand it. I applaud it. However, we're way too hyper-focused on the present right now. What about the future? What about future generations of gamers? I want them to be able to play Ark Raiders. Hell, I want them to be able to play the finals. I want them to be able to play Destiny 2 and Warframe. All these gacha games from Hoyoverse, a variety of MMOs. I want people to be able to play and experience these pieces of video game history. I'm sorry, enough is enough. I'm just going to be blunt, honest, come out and say it. Making an always online multiplayer video game is anti-consumer. Hell, it's anti-art. It's anti-video games. It's anti-preservation. Making your video game always online multiplayer puts on it an expiration date. We talk about offline single-player video games and how they're art, how they're landmarks in video game history, but multiplayer video games are art as well. They're major pillars of video game history too. I may not be a fan of World of Warcraft, but if that game was lost to time, became unplayable, that would be a travesty. That game influenced generations. It was a major cultural landmark. I'm sorry, but we are doing ourselves as consumers a disservice by not having these conversations about preservation and end-of-life plans with modern online multiplayer video games. Ark Raiders is great. I want people to be able to play it forever. Don't you? So I beseech all of you, please refrain from arguing with one another about whether or not a PvE or PvP only mode belongs in Ark Raiders, and instead ask Embark Studios, what are your end-of-life plans for this game? How do you plan on preserving it for the people who purchased it? And this isn't solely on Embark Studios. This is a industry-wide question and conversation we need to have with video game developers. I love Warframe. It's one of my favorite video games of all time. And while it's not at risk of shutting down or disappearing anytime soon, the question still needs to be asked of developer Digital Extremes, what are your end-of-life plans for Warframe? How do you plan on preserving this game? Warframe is yet another important part of video game history, and it would be a travesty to lose it. It would be a travesty for future generations not having the opportunity to play it. And the same goes for, and I know some people are going to scoff at this, the same goes for Destiny 2. Everyone knows developer and publisher Bungie are not in a good spot right now, and that the game is not in a healthy position. It quite possibly may be on its last legs. So what happens when you can't support the game anymore, when you can't afford the servers anymore? Destiny 2, despite its many issues, is an important part of video game history. Also, people spent a lot of fucking money on this game buying the yearly expansions. How do you plan on honoring all your longtime faithful customers who purchased all of this content? These are the questions and conversations we need to be having with video game developers and publishers. For the sake of our consumer rights, for the sake of preserving the art and culture, for the sake of future generations so they can experience these awesome, fun-as-hell video games like the rest of us. So personally, I don't mind if Ark Raiders gets a dedicated PvE or PvP mode, as long as it comes with peer-to-peer servers and custom lobbies. Hell, maybe even offline single-player support? Ark Raiders deserves to be played. It deserves to be remembered. It deserves to be preserved. Wouldn't you agree? Anyways, that's been a video. That's all I want to say. Thank you for watching. If you did indeed like the video in any way, shape, or form, please be sure to hit the like button. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Share your thoughts, feelings, and opinions. If you want to help out and support the video, then please share it on social media. Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, maybe a couple Discord servers you're a part of. If you want to help out and support me directly, please consider making a financial donation via the Super Thanks feature here on YouTube or by clicking on the links to my Buy Me a Coffee and Ko-Fi pages, links in the description down below. Anyways, once again, that's been a video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.